Is this going to be the new meta of instant funded accounts? Top One Futures just launched their new account, Ignite AF, and it's got one of the lowest costs I've ever seen. No activation fee, and you can copy trade up to 6 accounts. Let's get into the rules here to see if this account type is going to be for you. And again, we don't need to always trade just one. We could trade the instant funded as well as these Ignite AFs, just like I've tried the instant sim pros as well. I have a video on all these accounts separately, but let's go over the new ones here. You can see there's only 2 sizes of 25K and 50K, but I think that's no problem, as many of us on stream are trading the 50Ks anyways. I think that's a good thing to go with. Now, when you look at it from right to left, let's look at the 50K first. $1,000 daily loss limit. Now, many of the instant fundeds, depending on when you bought it or on what sale, again, with my code, they're always going to match the best deal that they have, but there was a cycle when there was no max daily loss, right? It was disabled. But I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. That means you really can't lose an account in one day anymore, because if you lose 1,000, it'll cut you out. You can come back again tomorrow and try to make it back. And the trailing max drawdown overall on a 50K is going to be 2,000, which is great because you can see it's a little bit bigger than the 1,500 than original. Now, let's not pivot too hard, but let's take a look at the Sim Pros real quick. Because if you look at the Sim Pros, it's actually on the 50K, $1,600 of drawdown, but the drawdown is intraday. One of my least favorite things about these accounts. So now when you look at the new accounts, it's going to be the normal $2,000 drawdown and end of day. So not too difficult at all. So I kind of do like that there's a max daily loss. So that way no one can lose an account in one day. You get 2 cracks at it. It's $2,000, end of day, 50 micros. That's no problem at all. But there's no consistency score on these. There's an ESS score, which we'll take a look at in a second. I'll break it down as easy as I can. But the final things about this is the max accounts, you can copy trade up to 6 of these. And for only $150 a piece, one-time fee, right? No activation fee. That's pretty huge, right? Even if you go with the 25K, you're getting funded for $90. Even if you fail one, you can't fail it, it's instant funded. But even if you lose one and have to buy another, $180? I mean, my God. So even if you copy trade 6 or 4 or 5, whatever, very low cost. Copy trade up to 6 is a great appeal for many of us, but let's take a look at that ESS score first. So to do that, you want to look at your best day plus your worst day, remove the subtraction of the negative, and then divide that by your account balance, right? So with the 50K account, let's say my best day is $600, my worst day is $200. Great, I'm doing great. But to take a payout on these accounts, you got to get your balance to $2,500 for the 50Ks. So that number comes out to $800. But then if we do $800 divided by that $2,500, it's 32%. So my ESS score is a little bit high. But what if my best day was $300, but my worst day was still $200? Well, that gives me $500 in total. Divided by the account balance of $2,500, that's 20%. So I meet that threshold, right? So $300 and $200. What if I make $500 and $100? That sounds good. It's a little high. Your win is actually kind of too big. That if you want to maybe bump this up to 200, would that help it at all? If we get 500 and 200, it makes it even worse. So 500 is kind of just too much across the board. That maybe we sit around that sweet spot of 300 seems to be the number here. 300 and 200, right? So you kind of got low incentive to try to risk up because you're going to just make that payout harder. So hopefully I broke that down easily enough. One more time, it's just going to be your best day plus your worst day, whatever that number is. So you can see for these two, it's $500 divided by the account balance of, you can take the payout at $2,500. So that's what the number we're going to use for this one. And then you just turn that into a percentage and 20%. Now, if we go to their FAQ, which just came out on these as well, you can see to take the payout, you got to get the 5%. So on a 25K account, you got to make $1,250 to take a payout. For a 50K, $2,500. We just went over that. But I just made $2,500 on my account. If you go to the payout caps on the 50K, only $1,000 per payout cycle, right? Per account. But still, I just made $2,500, but I'm only going to get 1,000 of it. So that's a little bit tricky in terms of maybe leaving money not on the table. It's still yours. You could try to go get another one in the next payout cycle. But it is a lower payout for how much profit you're making, right? So if we go back to the website here real quick, if I do copy trade 6 and I do make the 2,500, just for easy math, let's just call that 12 grand. I could still take out a 6K payout, 1,000 each, which is good for a $150 account. To take 1,000 is still good math, right? I think if we look at it as only $1,000, we only spend $150 on the account. How much do you want to make after only putting in $150? When you get the regular instant fundeds here and you're spending $390 and you can take a $2,500, yeah, now we're speaking my language. I'm spending more up front, so I want to be able to earn more down the road. So it really just comes down to the rules are pretty much the same in terms of the drawdown, max daily loss limit, the amount of contracts, end of day drawdown, and in the copy trading, it's not 6 for the other accounts, so that's an appeal here. You can copy trade more here than you can the other ones, but your payout per account is going to be smaller. So kind of give and take there. But it just comes down to it. If you don't like the appeal of $1,000 payout, then keep trading the instant funded. Spend a little bit more, but you get the bigger payouts. If you want to spend a little bit less, these are for the traders that don't want to spend as much on accounts. Maybe they're not as confident that they could even take the payout. Then feel it out. Spend 150, spend 90, right? Feel it out. Try to get a payout, make $1,000. That can go a long way, and then you stack them and you evolve it, right? And then maybe you shuffle that into the regular instant funded. So hopefully you guys found value in that. Again, there's a 20% ESS score. Hopefully that all made sense when we broke it down here. You can find most of this stuff on their FAQ, what the ESS score is. But I try to just keep it as simple as the math was saying, don't make more than 300 and don't try to lose more than 200. Even if I made it 300 and 300, what does that do? So it keeps it at 24. But one more thing we could touch on, that's just if my account balance is at 2,500. If I increase this to 3,000, you could see, okay, well now 300 and 300 does fall within the 20%, but you just had to make an extra 500 on the account. So be aware of that, right? So if you want to take the payout at 2,500, my best advice would be try to make $300 and don't lose more than 200. And still, if you stacked it up across like 8 days, you'll get there. So it's not really that much harder. It's lower costs. Copy trade up to 6. So there you have it. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Feel free to reach out if you have any other questions. Check out their FAQ. My code, again, is always running the best deal that they have. And right now, it's 50% off for all these account types, right? Not just the new ones. So whether you're still buying the Instant Fundeds, the Sim Pros, the Ignite AFs now, 50% off across the board with code EVAN. So check out the links down below. But I'll see you guys on the charts tomorrow.